Eli's pretty good too, but you're it, kid.
Yeah,
you know you're it.
It's a joy to have you. We are blessed
Oy.
and lucky. You know, after Lester Chambers and after my brain just went blank last year. Who's our wonderful yoga teacher? Our meditation. Who else could there be but you?
Karen Rokard, the sound of Brooklyn comes through your voice like honey. Honey.
That's true.
Süßkeit. One of the great, I once saw a picture. You probably don't know about this picture, Karen. It was some woman, she was standing on a ship and she was wearing a kind of a bikini and she was like outrageously gorgeous. I don't know if you know that picture, but you may have seen it. I think it was in Sports Illustrated. It was quite the woman.
He's making jokes about my sailing career when I used to raise sailboats in a string bikini.
I am not making jokes. I'm honoring a memory, sweetheart.
Starboard. Right. I'm sailing with Abigail.
All right. So you're the best, sweetie. Who's that? Is that Bert? I love that that's Bert. Diane. Queen of the Hop. Dance star. Where is Merce Cunningham when we need him? Sign this girl up. Where's Judith Jameson? She wants to take lessons from this Diane Elliott person. Where is this Diane Elliott? I'm seeing half of an earlobe. Oh, there she is. More than half an earlobe. Baruch Hashem. What a, we already have, this reminds me of the great quote, the great Jeffersonian quote. When Kennedy had all, do you know this quote? Kennedy had all these Nobel Prize winners at the White House. And someone said to him, what was it like, Jack Kennedy? JFK? He said, well, it was the most collected genius at one time in the White House, except for when Jefferson dined alone. Right here, we have a chevra. We have quite the chevra already. This is quite lovely. I'm going to just...
So much genius can cause
Big John.
It can
Big
cause
John
Zoom to go haywire, right, Lorelei? So much genius and power in one room. My God.
It's the Hashmal.
It's like the circle of the Baal Shem Tov times 10.
Nachon. It's the Hashmal, the wheels within the wheels that we have going on here.
John Seidel, way up in Banana Tree. John Seidel playing rhythm for you and me. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Yofi. Wow, look at this crew. I love this. Wow.
We're having a big crew here tonight. They've all come to see you, Jack, so it's wonderful that you're all here.
In a sense, you came to see me. In a sense, you came to see each other. Thank you. Thanks for the compliment.
We have a very, it's like a variety offering tonight. I know most of you know who Rabbi Jack Gabriel is, Rabbi Ya'acov Gabriel, right? But in case you don't know, or if you've never heard of him because you've been on another planet for the last 50 years or something, Jack is a longtime friend of us at the Aquarian Minyan. He was the first spiritual leader of the Woodstock Jewish Congregation in New York, like literally the Woodstock Rebbe. And he's met Jerry Garcia. What can I say? Like, there's really nothing more that I can say that's higher than that. He did sing with Kermit the Frog, which is almost as high as Jerry. But, you know, he's kind of done it all in ways that nobody else has done. And we needed him tonight, and here he is. I'm gonna just let him roll his thing, and I'm also gonna say that at some point we're gonna do a little quick Havdalah between Shabbat and the rest of Rosh Hashanah, which starts as soon as the sun goes down, but I think it's already down by Jack. So Jack, I'll let you decide what the order is, and also please have when we're play the pre-recorded stuff that Jack made for us to share, please have your volume on your computers up as quite high, if possible. That will be helpful. Okay? So welcome, Rebbe, welcome. It's all yours, and you're muted.
There I am.
There you are.
All right, sweetness. I did lift you up on loving eagle wings. I have brought you back to me. I did lift you up on loving eagle wings. I have brought you back to me. You will be my precious ones, for all this earth is mine. You will be a sacred family in touch with the divine, forever, for all time. This is for Ruth Bader Ginsburg. You had a very full life. I want to send you love from the Aquarian Minyan for the ways you handle strife. You were always such a mensch, and women were your concern. And here we are, left without you, with so much still to learn, with so much still to learn. Va'esa otach al kanfei nisharim, v'yavi otach el Hashem. Va'esa otach al kanfei nisharim, v'yavi otach elai. V'tem li segula, ki li kol ha'aretz, v'atem tiyu li mamlechet kohanim, v'goy kadosh, v'goy kadosh. You have been our precious one, Ruth, and now you've passed it on. May we have your kishkas and your chutzpah until systemic craziness is gone towards women and everyone, towards women and everyone, towards women and everyone. Oy. All right, Havdalah. Well, I didn't count on doing a Havdalah here, but I do have Havdalah and also lighting candles for the second Erev. I happen to have a flame here made of 4 little lights here. I'm going to light a yahrzeit candle for all the people who have been killed in this country of ours, in its violent history. I should have a lot more than one yahrzeit candle, folks. But this is L'Kavod. Now I'm lighting L'Kavod. Okay. Shana Tov, everyone. Thank you, Alice and Eric. I don't know you, but thank you. Okay, I'm gonna light. I happen to have a little glass of Kedem grape juice. If you have wine, good. If you have juice, good. If you have water, great. Don't dehydrate on my account or each other's account tonight. All right. I'm gonna open up the juice. Is it true that the Jewish people are called the grape Jews? Or is that too terrible a pun for the moment? The grape Jews. What do you think, Shoshana?
Really terrible pun.
It was a pretty terrible pun, Gewalt. All right, here we go, grape Jews. Hine el Yeshua tieftach v'lo evchad, ki oziv zimrat ya Adonai, Vayhi lishua. Shaftamayim bisason, mimayne hayeshua. Shaftamayim bisason, mimayne hayeshua. Mayim. Hey mayim bisason, mayim. Hey mayim bisason. Hey. Mayim bisason. Mayim bisason. Ladonai hayeshua. Al amcha bichatecha sela. Adonai tzvot imanu, mizgav lanu, Elohei Yaakov Sela. Adonai tzvot ashrei adam boteach bach, Yahoshia. Hamalka tanenu v'yom kareinu. La, hu. Dim hayata ora v'simcha v'sason v'yakar. La Yehudim hayata yakar v'simcha v'sason v'yakar. Kain lanu. For the Hebrews long ago, they got a lot of joy from lighting lights. So may it be for us. Kos Yeshua Desa, I lift my glass of Kedem, 100% pure grape juice. Uveshem Yah Ekra, I call out to the source of my breath. Yah. Arthur Wasco, I love you for your Yahs. Ay. Brucha at Yah Shechina. Ohaleinu Makora Olamot. Borei Puri Hagafen. Yippee-ki-yo. Yippee-ki-yo, Chevra. That's hot. That's Colorado for yay. Yippee-ki-yo. All right. Manaseh. So I'm going to give you a little caveat about what's coming. I wasn't sure about the quality live, what it was going to look like. It's okay as long as I don't touch my guitar. I think if I pick up my guitar, it's going to sound clangy and bangy. But so I've done a lot of pre-recorded stuff. It's with super musicians. I love these people. They're young kids here in Boulder, Colorado. But they knew the kavanah that I was going out to Oakland and Berkeley and the East Bay and the South Bay and the whole, actually NorCal and the whole burning states of Oregon, Washington, and California, man. All the kids who played this knew where the kavanah was at, man. Even though we were in the bright sunshine of the bubble called Boulder, Colorado, one of the great bubbles of America, protected by God's whim, God's goodwill. So we're gonna have some music that's gonna be outdoorsy, and then we're gonna just do also, and we're gonna check back in and keep it live. All right? So I wanted, before we do another thing, why don't you look at each other? Because look who's here. I don't even know. I'm afraid to look. It's probably bigger than a bread box worth of people. But you look at each other, man, because it's a participatory night. You know? You see each other? Yeah, Shoshana, I'm waving at you. I see Jonathan. And then let's see what else we got here. I see Beverly Potrop. I see Linda and Oriella. I see Debbie and Barry. Oh my God. My God. Sophie Miron. I see Anna Grafton.
You see Jerry Green.
Yay, Jerry Green. Hey, rebel to the max. Maurice Zilber. I see Rob and Kathy. And of course, Lorelei. Lorelei, she has made this thing work now. It's her energy that is making this happen. Lorelei, you're quite the exec gal. So thank you, Lorelei. Don't you blush. And Beth first. Hi, Beth. And Wendy Silverman. And there's a dude to your left. Hello, dude to the left. Who are you?
And there's Acorn and Denny Sunbeam.
Perfect.
My husband.
Diamond and Jerry Miron. What?
It's my husband, Dan. I got him
hi, Dan.
Know your music and stuff.
Okay, and there's Bass Dave, man. Yo, Bass. Love it, man. Barbara Zilber. The Midwife Clinic. Sarah Lynn. Oh my God, we have Canada represented. Sarah Lynn is one of the great. I got to share a quick Torah from Sarah Lynn. Sarah Lynn is a midwife, but she's a midwife's midwife. She's a teacher, a brilliant woman. She's been to Africa, to Sierra Leone, right? Sierra Leone? Yeah. To teach wonderful, beautiful stuff. Wonderful, beautiful stuff. And she once taught me, she works with young girls, many of whom are like 14, 15, 16, and having children. And what do you do if you're 16 years old and you're an immigrant in Toronto and you're having children? So Sarah Lynn taught them a mantra. I am enough. I know enough. I do enough. You know, Sarah Lynn, you're the best. Mwah. Hi, Hannah Cohen. Miriam. Oh, my goodness, Miriam. Edward. Hi, Edward. Wow. All right. I don't think I'm going to go through everybody because we could be a while. So this is lovely. I'm going to go back to asking Lorelei to play the first thing, which is a kind of an intro that we did as a way of saying, let's create a kavanah for the night. All right, so this is Boulder, Colorado. This is the B Gold glass blowing studio. We were locked down and safe, but we played music together. So as Zameret said before, put the volume up because this is going through a bunch of platforms to get to you and it might be a little quiet. All right, rock on.
Okay, I'm going to share it now, and Reb Ya'acov, you also mute, and good luck, everybody.
We are the Blue Man Group. We are a little blue today. We live in a world of strange, and we still have to make our way. We live in a backyard time where something that's slow and careful gets ignored. We live in a backyard time, and magic can still be scored. We live in a holy way. We're partners with God. I guess that's how it started one day. The Arizal, he saw it just that way. We live in a backyard world. Now, we can go slick, we can go down home, we can make a lot of noise, or we can leave it alone. But I think tonight we're gonna be like the Rolling Stone that gathered moss on its way. What key you in? I don't know. E? Yeah. That's an A chord. Yeah. An A one more time. And 2B7, I guess. I never thought I could play with these stupid clothes on. Da 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 da. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na na na. And at the end, let's just hold the quiet, not say anything. Thank you. שבת אחיות, גם יחד. So in harmony, people in peace together. So in harmony, people in peace together. People together, locked down, socially distant, but together. We are not alone. We are together. We are together. We are together. Yeah. All right, Benji. How very good, so lovely. People in peace together. How very good and so lovely. People in peace together. In Oakland, in Seattle, in Portland, in St. Louis, in Brixton, in Kingston, in Chile, in Israel. Yeah. Yeah, sweetie.
Reb Jack,
Yes, sweetie.
just shouldn't. I think I was just wondering if the words for that shouldn't have been Zumet Achim Gam Yachad.
Jack, you're muted. Jack, you're muted. Jack. You're still muted.
I can't hear anything.
Yes.
You know what Zalman used to say if you couldn't hear him?
I added
Zalman
auxiliary
say-
speakers, folks. It really helps.
Right. You know what Zalman used to say when people say, we don't hear you? He says, listen louder. Listen louder, Chevra. This is technological adequacy on my part. Not much more than that. So we're doing the best we can. So I just want to share with you all my sweet seekers out there, sweet friends, sweet players, sweet spirits, sweet improvisers during life's exigencies. I just want to thank you all for being here tonight, because even though it doesn't look like it, we're in community, kids. This is called Community 2020. This is community, man. It's the best we can do at the moment. It's not going to always look like this, but right now we're in community. So thank you for creating that holographically, plastically, existentially,
Can't hear a damn thing.
surreptitiously, excitingly.
It's community across the continent and beyond.
Correct. Sarah Lynn's here from Canada. We probably have other Canadians too. We may have a couple of Mexican friends too. It'd be lovely. I don't know if we get anybody from England. My friend Philip Rambo, if you're there, Philip, it's pretty early in the morning, man.
Well, you had Sarah Bracha there from England. I mean,
Bracha is
she's
actually
wonderful.
But Sarah Bracha is a Gewalt. Is that woman a Gewalt or is she a Gewalt?
She's powerful. She's amazing.
Gewalt.
We got to get her involved with the Minyan. Yeah, she's a Gewalt.
You hear that, Sarah Bracha? Okay, next. The next thing I'm going to play for you is what I thought thematically is going on for this Ganze, this whole Shabbaton and Shabbos and Rosh Hashanah, which is we're on this Gesher and it's feeling pretty tsar. Oh, Ann Arbor. Thank you, Bass. My man, Bass. Yes, Bass. So
It's Bass.
Is it Bass? Thank you, man. Thank you. You know, we're on a Gesher Tsar, and we're trying to just keep those feet moving, man. Keep those feet moving. Reb Nachman said, you know, Gesher Tsar Mod, V'ha'ikar lo lefached klal. Now, the word pachad is a little different than the word yira. And there's one other form, behula, I don't know. Bert knows all this stuff better than I do. The different variations on fear. Bert, correct? I love Bert. Bert, you're the first person to show me how translations could really make magic happen in the second language. Bert, you're the best, man. All right, so Gesher Tsar Mod. So we're going to do this in a kind of a, I know that Zameret did a great version, I think probably already, but we're going to do it in a way with my little force. No, I think it's a quartet. No, it's a trio. It's everybody but the bass player, whose name is Yisrael Yaakov Ben Ruach, took that name. Yisrael Yaakov Ben Ruach, playing bass. Wow, when you hear him. But he's the next segment, the next section. Right now, you're gonna hear Sarah Bracha. You're going to hear Benji some more. You're going to hear me, and we're going to do Gesher Tsar Ma'od in a kind of a Santana way. Nachat Tzadik. Santana. I once watched him at the Grammys, and you know what he said before he started, "Thank you for my Grammy"? You're not going to believe this. He said, I swear, man, in perfect Santana, Bay Area boy. Oseh shalom b'romav. Hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'nomar amen. Carlos Santana said that receiving a Grammy in front of the universe. How cool is the Bay Area? All right, Kindlech? All right, play that, please. You know, I don't know if there's any other rabbi who plays bass recorded than you.
I'm not sure. I don't think there is. I know some other recorder playing rabbis, but not the bass.
Yeah, like little Chali Lim types.
Little Chali Lim types, that's who I was thinking of.
Yeah. But not really the way you're playing it.
No.
That is one juicy sound. It's much richer.
Yeah, it's only plastic as well.
I think since you're playing something with that richness, I want to bring in something from key of B minor. Let's see if I can play this with my finger or if I need to get a pick. Like this. This is a song. This is the theme of this. By the way, their Shabbaton, their whole Shabbat is the whole Rosh Hashanah and Shabbat is Gesher Tsar Ma'od, narrow bridge, man. So this is. I'm going to play it in a particular way with a kind of like a blues, like a Carlos Santana shuffle. To a nice place with it rhythmically. Yeah. Carlos, I hear you, man. All of this world is a very narrow bridge. Very narrow bridge. A very narrow bridge. All of this world is a very narrow bridge. Very narrow bridge. כל העולם כולו קשר צר מאוד. קשר צר מאוד. קשר צר מאוד. לפחד, לא לפחד כלל. והעיקר, לא לפחד כלל. But the main thing we can do is to know our fears, to walk right through them, yeah. But the main thing we can do is to know our fears and walk on through. Know our fears and walk on through. Now, most people who sing the song translate it differently. The part about having no fear at all, I can't get into that at all. I don't know nobody, except for sociopaths, who have no fear at all. But the main thing we can do is to know our fear and to walk right through them. But the main thing we can do is to know our fear and walk on through. It's to shed our tear and walk on through. It's to get real clear and walk on through. All right, then. Tell it, then. Tell it, then. Sometimes it feels we're gonna fall off to the right. Sometimes fall off to the left. Main thing when you hit your fear, reach for community, and that way you won't be bereft. Not bereft, no. Know your tears and walk on through. Know your fears and walk on through. God is near, walk on through. God is here, walk on through. God is sincere, walk on through. Oh. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Doggies too. Yeah. Yeah, babe. Yeah, babe. לא לפחד, לא לפחד, לא לפחד. Don't stop on that bridge. Keep walking through. Don't stop stop on that bridge. Find out what's new.
Woohoo! Yeah.
Rabbi bantering.
Rabbi banter.
Rabbi banter.
And the chutzpah nudniks.
Sounds like klezmer. Sounds like Romanian klezmer. I like it. You know, so this is really a Rav, you know, folks. I know she's lovely and brilliant, but she also carries another mantle, which makes me very happy to see her in her entirety.
Two more mantles, because I'm also a Kohenet.
And she's a Kohenet.
I'm a Kohenet.
All right, you goddess lovers out there, we got you the real deal. All right. So I want to say we're gonna do a little show and tell now because we've done a little cover on it at the beginning, but I wanted to show you guys. I thought about what we were gonna do today. So this is a mask. What does it have? A lot of kind of music notes on it. All right, so that's part of what we're doing. We're trying to be musical in the face of this virus. This virus is interfering with life, but we're trying to push past that on this night of sacred party, second Erev sacred party. And I just thought that, you know, part of this yontif, you really feel like you're in Argaman, you're in royalty. There's a certain quality of royalty, the Rosh HaShanah, where you feel like I'm looking for my malchut. Where is my groundedness? Where is my royalty? So I got some clothes that colorway. But we also try to go to this place. This is a hard place. We try to go really clean. We try to go really clean. You know, we think, who was I last year that was kind of sketchy? Could I not be sketchy in the year ahead? So this is like, that's symbolic clothing. But sometimes, you know, life is not that black and white. It's not that simple, you know. I mean, sure, sometimes I feel like I think I creeped that person out, or that person creeped me out, and maybe I just wasn't open enough to them, or maybe they touched the right button for bringing me back to my childhood, and I have to own that. You know, my childhood was, you said Wembley. I don't know anything about Wembley, but I do know how to be a little European boy.
Oh, nice.
Because I grew up in South Bronx, which was actually a little piece of Europe. It was kind of like Poland West, where I grew up. It was Poland and Germany and Romania and Transylvania West. It was like for blocks and blocks, everybody's parents were Holocaust survivors. As a matter of fact, until I was 11 years old, I didn't know that you could have a parent without an accent. I assumed everybody's parent had an accent, you know. And I went to this yeshiva, this ultra-Orthodox yeshiva. And that was kind of a miscegenation. But I did the best I could hanging out there. You know, I was like definitely creature from the Black Lagoon, man. I was somebody else. But I did the best I could under the circumstances. 5 years ahead of me at that very same place was the great Rav Aryeh Hirschfield. He went to the same yeshiva Zechor Moshe as I did. Zichrono Livracha. Great, great man. Many of you know him from Oregon and Oakland and from Washington State. So, show and tell. But I am, you know, I sort of brought into my Jewishness back again. I ran away and did rock and roll for many years. And then the Aleph got me. I got bitten by the Aleph man. You know? The Aleph man was Reb Zalman Schachter-Shalomi. Zichrono Livracha. I go ZTL on him actually. Zichrono Tzadik Livracha. It was more than just that to me. And you know, one of the things he showed me was that it's important to every now and then do holy chutzpah and assert a little Rebbehood. You got to go Rebbe every now and then because otherwise you're just rabbi. And no offense to any rabbi sitting out there, but Rebbe has like different skills. Rebbe craft is something different than rabbihood. It's not necessarily being a CEO. It's more like I'm going to look inside your heart and I'm going to move something that much. And in 5 years, that's going to have an effect on you. And that's what Zalman did for me over and over again. He was constantly like adjusting my knobs, but very subtly. So I didn't notice that he was incrementally subverting me to the way of openness. I grew up in a pretty dark place and pretty shut down. But here we are, years later, and we're all trying to open up to the newness. Regardless of our age, our background, we're trying to open up to what is right in front of us. Another thing that my teacher, Reb Zalman, said was, if you don't get enlightened right now, you're really not trying. Because there's so many ways to get high, okay? To get high and feel higher, to be closer to dveikus, to cleaving to something beyond yourself. You might want to call it God, you might want to call it goddess, you might want to call it a lot of things, you know. First of all, you might want to call it say neither, nothing, no thing, none of the above, all the above. My Rebbe was a panentheist. He said all things were in God. Not so much that God was in all things. That's pantheism. But panentheism was all things are in God. So it's even more than you can possibly think of. I kind of like that. He also said another sweet thing I want to share with my friends in Oakland, because he started the Aquarian Minyan, and they're the ones who we're doing this for, at least the initial group. He said, boy, what did he say? He said, the only way to get it together is together. He said that throughout the 60s. The only way to get it together is together. He also said, notice where you're deployed and do what you do from there. You know, I used to connect him sometimes. I'm in Fort Collins, should I do that? And I said, you know what? You're there. Why don't you do what you do there? You know? And that was very, very good advice. And sometimes it's hard advice. You feel like you want to be somewhere else. And so being a little Holocaust kid, I think I've had a yearning to find home for a long time. And maybe some of you can relate to that. We're all looking for a home, you know? A home on this planet. And here's a little home song. Not too controversial, but maybe a little bit. In the key of D minor. Yeah, come right up, Benji. I walk among your trees and houses. I feel your breath of spring. The song that rises from your stillness, no human tongue can sing. I dream a dream of holy spaces within your timeless soul. I am your child across the water. I share the truth you hold. Yerushalayim, you're made of gold. You're made of copper, burning bright. Your every song makes me a singer. I feel your light. Yerushalayim, you're made of gold. You're made of copper, you're burning bright. Your every song makes me a singer. I need your light. I cry for you, Yerushalayim. Your children suffer so. You're far away, returning children who love your ancient glow. almond blossom blooms in winter in holy Israel. It whispers that the cold is leaving, springtime will prevail. Yerushalayim shel zahav v'shel nechoshet v'shel or halo lechol shiraich ani kinor. Yerushalayim shel zahav v'shel nechoshet v'shel or halo lechol shiraich ani ויחרים צלול כיין וריח אורנים נישא ברוח הרביים עם כל פעמונים ובתרדמת אילן ואבן שבויה בחלומה העיר אשר בדד יושבת ובליבה חומה. Yerushalayim, you're made of gold, you're made of copper, you're burning bright. Your every song makes me a singer. I see your light. Yerushalayim shel zahav v'shel nechoshet v'shel or halo lechol shiraich ani kinor, ani kinor, ani kinor, ani kinor b'shvilech. Tzedek, tzedek, tirdof. Tzedek, tzedek, tirdof. Tzedek, tzedek. Hello. Hi, friends. I'm sorry you're having a problem with volume, many of you. I'm glad that some of you are not, but I'm sorry. It's, I'm not a technophobe at all. I went to a school called the Bronx High School of Science. So I'm not a technophobe, but this is just not easy, folks. I get it. I'd like to make it better. But I'm gonna do some more live stuff. Somebody asked me to answer a question, which is like, so how did Zalman chop you? How did he grab you and pull you out of your particular version of mud? It was like this. I was a singer. I was pretty successful. At one point I was on Columbia Records and I had this very fancy recording contract. And I got to play with all kinds of very fancy people. Some of you saw my biography. I actually met Jerry Garcia, the person, not the ice cream. I met him in 1967 in the Haight. I'm a junior in college. I got hair out to here. I weigh about 11 pounds, and I'm on winter break. So I go out to San Francisco because someone told me about the Summer of Love. Wear a flower in your hair. I said, nah, that doesn't really happen. Yeah, it really does happen. So I find myself in San Francisco, and just a cute little story, and then I'll go back to this. But you guys asked for stories. All right, you're going to get stories, an onslaught of live stories from Rabbi Ya'acov Schechtman Gabriel. So I go to the Haight, and there's this very young girl standing there, and she's got a flower in her hair. I said, this girl is like the poster child for this. And she says, would you like some chocolate cake? And I said, "Oh, sure, I love chocolate cake." She says, "Have a piece." And, you know, I was pretty innocent, naive, dumb, pick a word. Yes. So this lovely young creature gives me a piece of chocolate cake, and I'm right off the plane from New York, you know what I'm saying? Right off the plane. And I take a bite of this chocolate, and for the next 4 hours, I'm standing at a lamppost, unable to move. She has given me something that's about 98% hashish. And I have no idea that that's what is about to happen to me. And so that was my introduction to San Francisco. And so after 4 hours of standing, I think motionless on a street corner, I said, I have to sit down. So I stumble into a coffee house and I order a coffee, and a guy comes down, sits next to me. He's got a beard, he's kind of heavy set, and he looks at me, says, "Are you okay?" I said, "I don't think so." He says, "You don't look okay." I said, "Well, some girl just gave me a piece of chocolate cake." He said, "Oh, the chocolate cake." He says, "Do you want to come to my house? Me and my band are rehearsing. Why don't you just sit at my house?" I said, "That's very nice. What's your name?" "Jerry." "Jerry, come." So Jerry Garcia took me to his house to hear some group called The Dead or something, The Grateful something. I can't believe it. I mean, that was quite a night. Welcome to San Francisco, Schechtman. Anyway, so how did Zalman get me out of that world? That was the world I was floating around in for many years. Like that, not quite as much chocolate cake, but that kind of world. So Zalman, so I start what's called the Woodstock Jewish Congregation, not of my own free will. I get drafted into the job. I'm doing something called the Forum, and in the Forum, be your word and also tell the truth. And I'm doing this, and they give me homework, and the homework is, what do you want to do with your life, man? And I write down, I want to be a rabbi. I want to be a rabbi. It's like I write this like 100 times. I want to be a rabbi. I'm thinking to myself, nah, ain't gonna happen. You're 40 years old. You ain't becoming a rabbi. But I'm writing down, I want to be a rabbi. I'm going to be a rabbi. I want to be a rabbi. I'm going to be a rabbi. So, okay. So what happens is I take something called a 6-day course, and I fly down a mountaintop on a zip line and all kinds of things. And out of that experience, my friends in Woodstock, Lori Schwartz and Nate Brenowitz, say to me, could you come up to Woodstock? We have Jewish kids and we don't know what to do with them. We want them to be Jewish, but we live in Ruby, New York, you know, Yenemveld, Yechupitzville, far away from the center of Jewish anything, far away from the homeland of Brooklyn, where they were from, you know? So I come up there and I'm fresh off flying down a mountaintop on a zip line, feeling very expanded, you know, not Tzimtzum, I'm the other guy. I'm the expanded dude. And I'm singing to these people, I'm saying, Judaism can actually be fun. There's a man named Arthur Waskow, and he has a book called Seasons of Our Joy. And there's a man named Bert Jacobson. There's all kinds of things out there, man. There's something called an Aquarian Minyan. All these things are out there for you. And so I go to one of my congregants says, you know, you should meet this guy, Reb Zalman. I said, why? He said, because he, you know what you're doing? He's doing it bigger. But he's doing what you're reinventing the wheel here out in Ruby, New York, and in Accord and all these places. But there's a man out there who's really kind of got his finger on this. So I go to Philadelphia to go a retreat, and all the cars have left. Everybody has like partnered up and driven away and left their cars in Reb Zalman's parking lot. And I'm coming from Woodstock, where I've been the kind of lay rabbi for 2 years. And there's nobody, I don't know where to go, but I pull into the parking lot. There's only one car left that's leaving. Guess whose car it is? Reb Zalman. So Reb said, I'll give you a ride, he says to me. So I get in the car with Reb Zalman and Yotam, who is 2.5 years old, who's like a little itsy bitsy creature. And we start driving. He says, so what do you do? He said, well, I'm a musician. He says, oh, very nice. He says, yeah. I said, but I lead a congregation. He says, you lead a congregation? I said, well, yeah, they think I'm a rabbi. He says, they think you're a rabbi. What do you think you are? I said, I'm a musician. He said, that's very nice. So he says to me in the car, we're driving along, he goes, so sing me something from the Rosh HaShanah service. I said, what? He says, sing me something. I go, hi-yi, da-di, di, hi-di, di, di. Hi-yi, da-di, di, hi-yi, da-di, di, di. Hi-yi, da-yi, da-di, da-di. Hi-yi, da-di, di, hi-yi, da-di, di. Yai dai dai yai dai 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 yai dai dai da da da. So he goes, so your family's Hasidic and you're from like near Lvov? I said, wow. It was like a parlor trick. He said, I can tell you exactly who you are. Just sing me something, I'll tell you who you are. And then he looks at me with his beautiful eyes and says, why are you really in my car? I said, because I need a teacher, Zalman. I don't know what I'm doing. These people think I'm a rabbi. He says, no, I'm not doing that anymore. Let me give you a phone. No, please don't give me to anybody. I can't surrender to anybody. I'm a tough case, Zalman. I'm a rock and roll reggae musician, man. I can't go to JTS. I can't go to HUC. I can't do those things, man. I'm 40 years old. I ain't doing that. I got a life that I've already lived. He says, well, I don't know. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not giving private smichas. I said, please, pretty please. He said, okay, listen. Tonight is Friday night. Tonight, you're going to lead the service at this fellowship farm retreat. I said, tonight? I'm not prepared. He says, well, do you lead services in Woodstock? I said, He said, well, do that. I said, I don't know. He says, okay, I'll do it. So I come in there. and it's like 40 people are sitting around Fellowship Farm, where Martin Luther King used to have his meetings for the civil rights movement, a very holy place. And there are people who I only know from their book jackets. I've seen their faces on book jackets. Arthur Waskow, for example, is sitting there. I go, oh my God, I've been just telling people about him, and I'm going to actually, Zalman wants me to daven for these people. So I'm leading the service. And as I come to a place where I think I've done a chidush or a change, and I'm a little nervous with how these people are going to receive this, I go into this metaphor. I go, in Woodstock, we have a custom, and I do whatever is my chidush. At the end of the service, he comes up to me, and he's got a little smile, and he says, that was very nice, but next time, could you have a little more fun? So that was his first teaching to me. Could you have a little more fun? And I think was probably his deepest teaching, First cut is the deepest. Know that song? First cut is the deepest, man. So Zalman said, could you have a little more fun? And that's basically how I got onto the merry-go-round of Jewish renewal. I was kind of doing my thing in Woodstock, which resembled Jewish renewal. It was my own kind of inchoate version of Jewish renewal. And then I got to see how everybody else was doing it through Zalman. And the other thing I want to say, he is my Rebbe still, it's 34 years later. And I had him 28 years when he was on this planet. Gave me a lot of koach, 28 koach from Reb Zalman. But the thing was, he only got angry at me twice in 28 years. He only got pissed off twice. That's unbelievable to me. I spent a lot of time with Reb Zalman, and I had a lot of ways to piss him off. I'm kind of a stubborn creep. Talk to Karen sometime. I'm a little bit stubborn at times. But anyway, Zalman he never got angry at me. He was like the father that I always wanted, who was like non-judgmental. So that led me into who I am, and I'm forever grateful. Hi. All right, some music. All right. Can you hear this? Yeah?
Beautiful sound.
Thank you. It's a very cool guitar. Her name is Kensington, though she comes from Michigan.
I'm in Kensington.
Dear Father, we ask you to care. Please shepherd us past our despair. Avinu Malkeinu, who can explain you? Your silence is so much to bear. Please hear us when we sing, so stuck in our suffering. Please share your kindness, ending our blindness with the sweet love that you bring. I first learned to translate songs listening to Bert Jacobson. I hope I'm a good Talmud, dearest Rebbe in Elsa Bronte. Lai dai da dai dai, lai da 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 dai, lai da da dai dai da. Asay manu, tzedaka v'chesed. Asay imanu, tzedaka v'chesed, ve'hoshienu. Most people sing the song Ashkenazi, but it sounds more Sephardi to me. So the chords that I'm playing, the words that I'm saying, they came from Spain. I think that's what's the truth. Lai, 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 lai. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Avinu, we ask you to care. Imenu, shepherd us past our despair. Avinu Malkeinu, who can explain you? Your silence is so much to bear. Please hear us when we sing, so stuck in our suffering. Please share your kindness, ending our blindness with the sweet love that you bring. Allah, la 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 la. Allah, la 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 la. Allah, la la. Hi la 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 la. La 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 la. Hi, thank you. Thank you. So, Chaverim, we've been actually at this for an hour. If you need to take care of your body, take care of your body, man. I mean, I appreciate the attention, but You know, drink something, eat something, use that bathroom, stretch your body. Look at Diane Elliott. Stretch like Diane Elliott stretches.
How about something Yiddish about the body? You got a Yiddish song for us?
Okay.
Maybe we could do some stretching. Rob's here and Diane. We have the best body movement people in the world with us right now.
I'm seeing Diane right over there. Diane, you want to give us like a couple of, oh, look at those beautiful fingers. So, sweetie, you want to give us like a couple of like things for our backs, our shoulders, our necks? Yeah, that works for me. I need to do that, man. Otherwise,
oh, everybody.
Oh, yes.
Let's just do a little Avinu Malkeinu with our arms and fingers, and notice what that does to your breathing. As you open your rib case. And then maybe cross your arms, give yourself a big hug. And just let your elbows move up and down just slightly. Even that opens the back of your heart and then the front of your heart. Oh. Yeah, and don't forget about your feet and your legs. Maybe circle your ankles a little bit, squeeze your toes together, whether they're on the floor or lifted up. And then let's do a little shake out. I'm going to stand, but just the shake out. Just shaking and bouncing a little bit, letting the energy move. Yeah. So Jack, you're like shaking our hearts and our brains with this amazing retranslating of our tradition into reggae, jazz, and the deepest soul. Yeah. Rob disappeared. I want Rob to lead us in something too. Are you here, Rob?
This is not going to turn to Hefker. I can't let it go into like complete. I'm sort of the guy doing this. All right, but I'm glad we got that part. Thank you. So, there is a nice thing that I did. I did something called Hooked on Shlomo. Remember K-Tel Records presents Hooked on Bossa Nova, and they do like one song after another. Shlomo Carlebach's music so lent itself to that. Reb Zalman was always like talking about, if you take Shlomo's waltzes, he could waltz us into the next century. You just do one after another, of Shlomo's waltzes. So I have a thing that I recorded with these really hot musicians you've been listening to called Hooked on Shlomo. And I would love you to just watch that, because it's kind of, you get to see Sarah Bracha again, you get to see Benji, and you get to hear some Shlomo music. I mean, I could do it, but it's not the same without these like hot musicians. Would you indulge me? I know the sound's not going to be as good, but you'll get the energy. All right. So Lorelei, can you run that Hooked on Shlomo? It's supposed to be 6A in the structure. So, sometimes it's hard for me to describe who I am, but sometimes hats help me. See, it says CR on it, Colorado Rebbe. Before that, I was a California Rebbe. Before that, this is a Maple Leaf, Canadian Rebbe. They're all CRs. I have a bunch of CRs as my karma somehow. I kept CRing over. Am I what?
Kerma.
My Kerma was the CR. She's fast, man. This is one heck of a Kabbalist. Do you know what makes us Kabbalists, the two of us? We have to cobble things together to earn a living. We need to cobble a little this and that, so we cobble away. Don't we?
Cobble this, cobble that.
Cobble that. That's right. Correct. All right. So I want to do a tune, actually a mashup of 3 songs. I'm going to put on my Happy Yamo for this, and these are in honor of the Sacred Music Night. I don't think it can complete for the Aquarian Minyan or for the House of Love and Prayer without one Shlomo medley. This is a medley, and it's 3 songs, and the first one is Psalm 92, the Sabbath or the Holiday Psalm, which is Tov Lahodot Ladonai. And then the second one comes out of it will be God in Four Worlds, which was English words by Reb Zalman and melody by Shlomo. As far as I know, it's the only song they co-wrote. Yeah, and the last one is a song that I strangely co-wrote with Shlomo Carlebach. Strangely in the sense that I was supposed to go on tour with him in Florida. Well, no, yeah, he was unaware, but it was darker than that. I'm sorry, but I got to get a little dark here. It was darker than that. So what happens is I get a call from a friend, Stevie Klein, who's living in St. Petersburg, and he says, "Hey, how would you like to play 6 places in Florida with Shlomo Carlebach?" I said, "I'd love it, man." He said, "Well, I can set it up." I said, "Set it up." So I get very excited, and I start randomly, Shlomo and his 5,000 melodies. I know a bunch of them, many, but not a lot. That's funny, many, but not a lot, okay? So here is, I started working on I just started playing around in kind of almost a reggae rhythm. And I was doing that, and English words came to me. And I said, wow, this has never happened before, to take a Shlomo niggun and to have words come to you. Doesn't happen that often. So out came these words, and I said, oh my goodness. I said, that's really cool. Okay, now you may not know this, my friend Sarah Bracha, my friend Benji, but once upon a time, I was terrified of telling stories on a stage.
Get out of here.
Correct.
What?
What? Jack, you love to talk, man.
Especially on a stage.
On stage. Give me a microphone, I go nuts. Yeah. Anyway, I was at that point in my life, but this goes back to 1994. I was actually afraid to tell stories. I always was sure I was going to forget pieces of the story and I'd weird out. So I kind of avoided it. I would write out notes and say, just say those things, Jack, to introduce a song. I was like an uptight folk singer. Anyway, this particular afternoon, out came the song, and then something terrible happened. I get a phone call at 6 o'clock that night from my friend Stevie, or maybe a little later, Stevie Klein saying, tour's not happening. I said, oh, well, I'm sorry. He says, no, I'm really sorry. Shlomo just died. Shlomo died in the airport in Montreal, trying to get to see his family in Toronto. He literally, his heart burst. It's a horrible thing, but he had a pacemaker, but he wasn't pacemaking. He wasn't pacemaking. And he just died. And I said, oh my goodness. But you know what happened? I had this kind of hallucinatory vision of him going out the door and saying, and he said, don't worry about storytelling. I can't make this up. It's too stupid to make up. It's just too stupid to make up. It's too much weird to make up. So ever since then, I've been able to tell stories about my songs and about other people's songs. It was like he said, when a great master leaves the world, he leaves some presents. And he threw one at me. And that's why these words that I wrote were really about him, as if I knew he was not going to be around much longer. I didn't know it, but part of my soul must have known it, man, because I was writing it on the day he left. So here we are, hooked on Shlomo. Tov lehodot l'Adonai uzamer l'shimcha elyon. Tov lehodot l'Adonai uzamer l'shimcha elyon. להגיד בבוקר חסדך ואמונתך בלילות. להגיד בבוקר חסדך ואמונתך בלילות. שמך עליון. להגיד בבוקר חסדך ואמונתך בלילות. אוי להגיד בבוקר חסדך ואמונתך בלילות. יאי די לי לי
Oy, that was so great. Oh my God.
That was a Gewalt. Gewalt, Sheba Gewalt.
Thank you.
Mamash.
Here I am. Thank you. I'm glad you could hear that. You know, for a while there, my sound dropped out too, and I felt like, oh, that's what other people are going through. I'm sorry, but I'm glad you caught hunks of it. That was really a tribute to Shlomo and to Reb Zalman and the outrageousness of a great Rebbe and in all his facets, you know, pluses and minuses. You know, there's a prayer you say after you eat a little meal, not a big meal, called Borei Nefashot. And there's a very interesting thing in it. He says, the prayer says, Borei Nefashot Rabot V'chesronam. Thank you for creating the vitality, the nefeshes of people, but also thank you for what they lack. It's like God created us with needs for complementarity. You know, so sometimes you look at someone who's a great Rebbe and he's got some spots on his talus, man. He's got some schmutz on his history. And you go, oh man, I can't trust this guy anymore. You gotta I say cut people slack, man. I understand people have been weird in their lives and done good and bad things, but man, we all are sinners. And I ain't talking Christian here, folks. We all have our places of, you know, not handling things. Okay, anyway. So I wanna play something for you. It's actually recorded, but you know, you guys sound like, you don't mind my live. It's not that off. So let me do something live for you. This is a kind of a Latin version of Yismachu Hashamayim. And as we're also conscious now of the climate, of the earth, the sky, the air we breathe. You guys are in the middle of a fire trap. Gewalt. I'm so sorry, man. I'm so sorry that California's on fire. Oregon's on fire. Washington's on fire. You know, it pains me, man. Anyway, but I want to sing you something with a Latin flavor that says, Yismachu hashamayim v'tagel haaretz, yiram hayam umalao. You know, let the heavens make simcha. Let the earth be glad, you know. And this particular time I heard it a certain way, it sounded kind of Spanish to me, Latinate. So let me do that. A Latin version of Yismachu Hashamayim. Because we have to celebrate what we got and bring it back if we can, when we can, how we can, under whatever circumstances we can. We got to get the orange viper out of the White House, folks. And we have to not be stung further by him. Every day he does something brutal. This guy's like a brutality machine. So we can't let him hammer us into the ground or the earth. You can hear that, huh? Yismachu Hashamayim, Yismachu Hashamayim, Yismachu Hashamayim, V'tagel haaretz, Let the heavens start to celebrate. Let the heavens start to celebrate. Let the heavens start to celebrate. Let this earth be glad. Let the oceans rock. Let the oceans roar. All the life that they contain, let them sing once more. Yeah. Yes, mechu hashamayim, yes, mechu hashamayim, yes, mechu hashamayim, b'tagel haaretz. Let the oceans rock. Let the oceans roar. All the life that they contain, let them sing once more. Yeah. Let the heavens start to celebrate. Let the oceans start to celebrate. Let the mountains start to celebrate. Let this earth be glad. Yeah. Let this earth be glad. Na 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 na, yeah. Na 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 na, yeah. Na 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 na, yeah. Na 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 na. Whoa. Let it go. Watch it flow. Let it go. Heal it so. The earth is a self-regulating mechanism of reality. All humans have to do is not throw a spanner into the works. A spanner into the works. Be Luddites or be jerks. Let's let the earth live so that we can live. Let the rivers live. Let the ponds live. Let Siberia live. Let the Arctic live. Let it all live.
Yeah. Whoa. That was great.
Thank you, Jonathan. So, you know, I just knocked over my larger-than-life shofar. I happen to have this shofar from the Holy Land, which is larger than life, man. It's like bigger than big. Wow. Look at this thingy. It's a beauty, eh? Let me see if I can actually make a sound come out of it. Nine to 11. I don't know if I got the 9 to 11, but I got the 1, I got the 3. And let me see if I can do it one again. Tekiah. Shivarim. Teruah. Tekiah Gedola.
Yay. That was like a krecht. Your krecht.
The last one was a little bit more bluesy than your basic types, but okay. I'm not in shape, man. But I want to show you something. Once upon a time, I was completely enamored with a guy named Robert Allen Zimmerman. Robert Allen Zimmerman was born in Duluth, Minnesota on May 28th of 1941. That would make him 79 years old. Robert Allen Zimmerman, father's name was Avram. Mother's name was Beatrice or Beatty. His name was given at birth. Robert Allen Zimmerman's name was Shabtai Zisel ben Avram. Shabtai Zisel. So Shabtai Zisel went on to become Bobby Dylan. Shabtai Zisel. I love Bob Dylan, man. I can't help loving him. He's so Americana, man. He took the Jewish heritage and became Bob Dylan, man. Anyway, I just got to share a little story about him. His papa, Avram, unfortunately contracted polio. Bob was only 6 years old. His papa had an appliance store in the kind of bustling little town of Duluth, Minnesota. So Papa couldn't deal with the energy level. And so he took his son to Beatty's old home, which was a much smaller, more conservative place called Hibbing, Minnesota. So Bob grew up in Hibbing, not in Duluth. And they both were on the Mesabi Range, which is where the earth got turned into iron ore and slag. You take the ore, you leave the slag. You leave the direct behind, sort of, but there's no behind. But okay, anyway. So Bob grew up from the age of 6, an outsider. He had to go to a smaller town where things were more conservative. He never, this is psycho-spiritual, he didn't tell me this. So this is psycho-spiritual guessing. What is it like to be 6 years old and for your father to come down with polio? And then you have to move to some place where you're a complete outsider. You either die or you become the world's best songwriter. One or the other. So Bob chose the Nobel Prize, man. He went Nobel Prize. But, so I got to love him for that. And he is such a master in so many brilliant ways. There's a song of his that I play quite differently than him, but I hope it's in his spirit. I'm going to play it for you now. So this is Robert on your year of 79. Chazak, 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 man. Stay strong, man. Stay, Bob. Put it out. He put out a new song called Murder Most Foul. Guy puts out a 17-minute song that goes to the top of the music charts. 17-minute song all about the Kennedy assassination. And why does he put it out now? I don't know. But it actually fits into the times where we feel like justice is being assassinated in this country. So Bob put it out and said, no, I'm not talking about now. I'm talking about that. Anyway, this is a song of Bob's, and I'm going to play it in the kind of a Joni Mitchell way. Just because. I don't know. I love her too. You like her, Jonathan? Joni Mitchell? Feel a connection?
Go for it, Jack. Go for it.
All right, man. Sophie Marone, I love this Wechter. Thank you for representing Abe, who makes these somewhere in, I think, in Asia.
That was John Fillion, this guy over here.
Oh yeah? You actually, so you worked for Abe?
No, I was just a rep.
Very cool.
I
bought the guitar that doesn't exist anymore. It was called Manny's. It was on 47th or 48th Street in Manhattan. I walked in, I looked at it, I said, what is that, man? They said, it's a Wechter. I said, a Wechter? It sounds like it's my family. My name is Schechtman. He says, yeah, Abe Wechter he used to work for Gibson, and now he's on his own. He's, I think, he was like in Hong Kong or Singapore, or...
He's making them in China, but I don't think they've been in production for at least 10 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, then I guess I have a one-of-a-kind, it's called a Pathmaker. It's beautiful guitar. All right, so I'm going to play a little Pathmaker type raga version of a Bob Dylan song.
And you're making the path to Hashem with your Pathmaker.
Say again?
You're making the path for all of us to Hashem with your Pathmaker.
That is very sweet. I'll take it, man. What a sweet thing to say, man. Thank you. How many roads must a man walk down before they call him a man? How many seas must they white up sail before she sleeps in the sand? How many times must the cannonballs fly before they're forever banned? Oh, the answer, my friend, it's a blowing in the wind. The answer is a blowing in the wind. How many years must these Rockies persist before they are washed to sea? How many years can black people exist before they're allowed to be free? How many times can a president look up, pretend he does not see? Oh, the answer, my friend, it's a blowing in the wind. The answer is a blowing in the wind. How many times must a man look up before he can see the sky? How many ears must one man have before he can hear people cry? How many deaths will it take to know that too many people have died from COVID, from lynching, from sickness, from system overload, from system madness? The answer, my friend, is a blowing in these winds. You know the answer is a blowing in these winds. The answer is blowing in the hot winds. California's on fire. Oregon's on fire. DC is on fire. Denver is on fire. Grand Junction is on fire. How many roads must a man walk down I just got a request. What was that request? Was that you, Lorelei? You sent me a request, sweetie? What was it? Or was it a Hoover?
It was a Hoover.
What'd you ask for, sweetie?
Hodu Ladonai Ki Tov.
Love it. I'm a big fan of Rebbe Nachman. He was a great Rebbe psychologist long time ago. You know, he didn't believe, no, in despair or depression. Had a prescription to make sadness go. He said, do a little dance, sing a little song, fake it till you make it, up with joy. He said, Hoduleya, Kito, Ki Leolam, Leolam Chasdo. Ivdu et ya b'simcha, ivdu et ya b'simcha, bo lefanav bir nana, lefanav bir nana. Serve your inner in the spirit, serve your inner in the spirit. Serve it up right up with joy, serve it up with joy. We're singing up with joy. We're swinging up with joy. We're saying up with joy, yo, 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 with joy. Ivdu et ya b'simcha, ivdu et Hashem b'simcha, bo lefanav bir nana, lefanav bir nana. Yeah, you can get up and dance. Ivdu et Hashem b'simcha, ivdu et Hashem b'simcha, bo lefanav bir nana, lefanav bir nana. Dance, dance, dance with the flame, feel the fire in your vein. Dance, dance, dance with the flame, feel that cosmic love. Dance, dance, dance with the flame, feel the fire in your vein. Dance, dance, dance with the flame, fix up that love. Up with joy. Up with joy, yo, yo, yo. Up with joy, yo, 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 yo. With joy. Ahuva, she got joy. Lorelei got lots of joy. Zameret, yesh lach simcha. Zameret, she got tons and tons of joy. Marty Potrop, man of joy. Barry Barkin, Debbie Barkin, yes, oh boy. Oh, Karen Rokart. Whoa, 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 whoa. Up with her joy. Oh, Aquarian Minyan. That's who I'm singing. Aquarian Minyan. My old friends. Aquarian Minyan. No one's a Minyan. We are all Chaverim and Chaverot.